He had journeyed from afar. His travels led him into deepest darkness. Ultimately, his very heart was stolen by whisperings of dark. If that which shines in darkness is light, that which pursues light is darkness. Therefore, a place of light which lacks all darkness is the same as a place of darkness devoid of all light. Light creates light. In turn, creating dark. To that end, I seek the darkness, and before long, it and he were as one. "30th century, Crystal Tokyo." Astronomers of the 30th century have discovered a celestial object drawing close to the solar system. It's determined to be a comet of enormous size. The eyes of the world stare with rapt attention as the comet soars ever onward. However, an unknown epidemic has begun to spread throughout the city. And in the midst of this, several youths have vanished without a trace. To ease her suffering people, Neo Queen Serenity prays to the legendary silver crystal. The silver crystal is shaking. I'm sensing an evil energy. Yes, and it's a very potent one. But we've only just defeated Death Phantom. Why? Then this is a new foe? I had hoped that we'd been granted peace at last. This is a very grave matter. We must have the sailor soldiers investigate this immediately. Look! The silver crystal stopped shaking. you're right. My visions of the disasters to come have stopped as well. These ominous tremblings, what could be the cause? It must have some relation to the comet. Could that be the case? Yes, I'm certain. The peace of this world is upheld by the light of the legendary silver crystal. It will continue for eternity. We're off. It's her. Heh. And now things will start to change. Everything is going according to plan. Does it mean I can be with her? Anything is possible if we change destiny. After all, we have Lady Apsu to guide us. Destiny will change. Princess, my sister is right. I'll do my best. Chibiusa, what is it? I dunno, I just felt kinda uneasy for some reason. Ooh, feeling a little lovesick again? I know. You're already at that age of boy craziness, right? Just remember, Mamo is mine. Idiot. It's not that. Hey, Usagi. There aren't gonna be any more enemies, are there? Everybody's gonna live in peace from now on, right? Ha ha ha, of course we will, Chibiusa. Things are gonna be just fine from now on. And even if some bad guys try to attack, I am Sailor Moon. And in the name of the moon, I'll punish you. That is quite the long intro. So hey there, welcome to Sailor Moon Another Story. I am so excited to play this again. It's been a while. And this time I get to share it with you guys out in YouTube land. I've been a huge Sailor Moon fan for literal decades. It was my gateway anime, back when the dub used to play on Toonami in the late 90s and early 2000s. It got me into Japanese animation and manga, and I was so excited when Crystal was announced, like, you can't believe. There's several fighting games out there, but this is the only Sailor Moon RPG. And it came out in 1995. It was developed and published by Angel, and it was only ever released for the Super Famicom in Japan. So, at first, it didn't look very promising. We didn't think we would ever get a chance to experience— Oh no. I can't believe I'm late for the parade. Ow. Are you alright? Yeah, but I've gotta go. Sorry. What's this? This looks like the princess's pendant. Anshar. What's wrong? Nothing. Let's go. From this point forward, destiny has been changed. Okay, they really do put a lot of space in between those subtitles for you to read. If they shorten those, they could probably cut this intro in half. Anyways, as I was saying, we didn't think we were going to get an English release, and we never technically did, but in 1999, a fan translation was done by Bishojo Senshi Translations. This allowed English-speaking fans to experience it, and, especially in my case, fall in love with it. But there were some issues, some easily translatable phrases were left in, and on the other hand, some translations lost the original meaning or intent in Japanese. So in 2019, a localization was done by, I believe, a group called M-Team. They're a Polish ROM hacking group. If I am not correct on that, somebody let me know. But this fixed the translation as well as some glitches and gameplay issues. So I've only ever played the BST version. But for this series, I'm going to play the newer localization. So even though I've beaten the game several times, this is still going to be a new experience. So let's dive into it. We're not going to go into a cutscene again. Nope. Okay, so there are a couple of cheats that you can implement on the title screen. You could start all of your characters at level 16 by holding X on this title screen and then going in and starting a new game. I have tested that. It does work. There's supposedly a level 99 cheat. I haven't been able to get that to work. But apparently if you hold A on the second controller, And then on controller 1, if you press up, up, down, down, left, left, right, you're supposed to be able to start at level 99. Again, I haven't made that one work yet. So we're just gonna go into it. We're not gonna do any cheats. We're gonna just start everybody at level 1, like normal. Technically, this game does take place after season 3. And so the level 16 cheat is kind of the idea that if you wanted to power your characters up to where they should be at that point in the anime, that you can do that. We're not going to. It's the beginning of the game is really not that difficult, so we're not going to use that cheat, but it's there if you want it. So, we're gonna start a new game. Usagi. Usagi, wake up. What's wrong, Luna? There's something peculiar about the town. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something funny going on. Are you sure it isn't your imagination? No, there's something about the people too. Okay. Be careful out there. Good night. Wait a sec. Get up and go check it out. Go and check it out? I don't think Usagi would want to get up and go check it out. Oh, for the love of Usagi! Get up! Jeez, Luna. She's really pounding on us. Alright, we'll go check it out, yes. I guess I'd better get going. Come on, Usagi. Oh, I just remembered. Don't forget to take along your diary. Got the diary. I don't know why they give you the diary. You don't need it, you just save it Luna Peas. I don't know. Use your diary to save. Everything you've done so far will be recorded, but only when you talk to a Luna Pea ball. Got it? Sure. Alright, let's go. We could save. We really don't need to. The game just started. Chapter 1, Hell Destiny. I believe in the original translation that was her destiny. And so in Japanese it would be Heru. So I can see where they would make that mistake. Alright, so now that we can control ourselves, just a quick basic information for anybody who might be playing along. X will bring up your main menu. I'm not going to go through all of these right now. We can touch on those as they become relevant. But this is your main menu. You've got items, accessories. You can change your formation, see your status, all that kind of fun stuff. Again, I'll go over these as they become relevant. If you press select, you can pull up your options menu. So you can change your cursor to either memory or off, text speed. So I like the fastest text speed. Change your background color. For some reason, I always go with blue. It's just a thing, but there's a lot of different options. And then you can also change your text color. It's just aesthetic things. It's completely up to you if you bother playing around with them. I usually stick to the base text color. And then there's also another menu. If you press start, these are link techniques. You can get all of them right off the bat if you know what the pairings are. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to actually just get these as we get new characters in our party, just to kind of space it out a little bit so you don't have to sit here for 5 minutes while I do it. But basically you just select the different characters and you can get special techniques that only they can use. But we'll do that later. So again, we don't need to save. So let's leave. Pressing B makes you run. And here we have Shingo. What do you want, Usagi? Get out of my room. Well, typical Shingo. Kinda rude. Who else is home? Ah. Mom. Oh, Usagi, you're up early today. Yeah. Luna kinda woke us up. Alright, so we're in town. Ah, this guy. Nope, I'm lost again. Oh? You look in need of a little pep up. Here, drink some of this medicine. Remember, come and see me if you ever get tired. Now, where do I go from here? This guy's a traveling merchant. He will show up and heal you, and eventually he'll start selling you items, so get used to seeing him. Hello, Usagi. Just the other day I saw you arm in arm with a real cutie pie. Oh, if I were just 10 or so years younger, you'd be in for some real competition. I assume she's talking about Mamoru, and he's like barely legal, lady. Keep it together. And now we are in the town of Juuban. Are you feeling a little clueless? I was in your exact position yesterday. Never fear, just visit the clock shop and the arcade. So being an RPG, yes, I am going to talk to the NPCs. This is a let's play. I'm trying to share the game with you. Let's run. If you try to leave the town, so there's 3 other exits from the town, Luna will stop you, telling you to investigate the neighborhood first. So you can't leave right away. Here's the game center. Don't talk to me while I'm trying to concentrate. You'll throw me off my game. Just go Stop in mid-sentence. I think he literally says, I'll stop talking mid-sentence in the original translation. Accessories can raise your attack and defense powers. You can probably find some when you go shopping. Another Luna P. Again, we haven't done much. We don't need to save yet. Are you starting a new adventure? I get the feeling it's gonna be a really long one. Whenever you find a Luna P ball, make sure to pen a new page in your diary. In fact, you should make one right now. No. I kinda hit you over the head with that instruction. We really don't need it yet. Hey Usagi, you're looking bright and peppy today. Keep on giving off that healthy glow. Oh, Motoki. He's adorable. I've always adored him. So yeah, the game center doesn't really have anything besides a few NPCs to talk to. A little while ago, I saw some weirdo go into the Usagi store. And yes, that is where we're supposed to go, but as any true RPGer, we are going to go everywhere else first. Oh, that's right, we can't go there yet. So the town really isn't that long, or that large. There's really only 4 streets that you can go explore. Looks like a black cat's following you. That's bad luck, you know. You're bad luck. Don't tease my poor Luna. Ah, Umino. Hey, have you seen Naru? Again, yes, we're supposed to go to Usagi. Yay, another early sunny morning! And people like you are why I hate mornings. Are you looking for advice? You should hit up the arcade or the clock shop. If you'll excuse me, I was in the middle of shopping. Good morning, lady. The kids like to get up early. It's a good habit to have. Why? You can shop here. We don't need anything right now. But if you're curious, I can show you quickly what's here. Just some healing items. Most of these are just for HP. The hammer, a good whack will fix stone. And then EP, this heals 2 EP, the Nakayoshi. EP is kind of like this game's version of mana. But again, we don't need anything right now. Feel free to stock up if you want anything, but... I think I passed the clock shop. I heard some loud noises coming from inside the Usagi store. What do you think they could be? I think I did. I think the clock shop's down here. Nope, that's the game center. I swear I passed it. Ah, there's a clock shop, duh. You can use certain kinds of healing items in battle. They can restore your health and cure your bad status. Certain kinds of items only cure 1 bad status at a time. It's a good idea to have a lot of different medicines. You can use a lot of items while both walking around and in battle, but sometimes you'll find out that an item can't be used at the moment. Keep that in mind. Alright, I'm not going to talk to this guy here. He just goes over link techniques, and it's quite a long thing that he has to say. So basically, we'll go over link techs once we get an actual party together. All of these things are battle menu things. I'll go over these once we actually get into a battle. But if you wanted to preemptively kind of study up on what they all are, you could definitely do that research here. But for now, we are going to actually go to OSP now and do what we're supposed to do. Somebody help! Oh no, it's Naru! Again. Naru is always in trouble. She's being attacked by a Daimon! Usagi, transform into Sailor Moon! Moon, cosmic power, make up! Hold it right there. Who the hell are you? I am the pretty soldier who fights for love and justice. Daimons like you who attack helpless girls are the worst kind. I am Sailor Moon, and now, in the name of the moon, I'll punish you. What impudence! Alright, here we have Cenicienta, who I believe in the original translation of this game is called Persian Cut. But she is from season S, so the third season of the anime. She was a daimon sent by Kaori Knight. She transformed out of a glass shoe that Mamoru bought for Usagi for her birthday. So she kind of attacks with glass, crystal, whatever you want to call it. So she's pretty simple. It's your first boss fight of the game, so you really can't lose. But we can go over the battle menu stuff. So this first option here, this is just a physical attack. It's a single target, very basic. I think every single RPG has just a fight command, and that's what this is. This is the technique option. So any abilities that your Senshi has, you can use EP to use those here. This is the link techniques. So we touched on those. We don't have any yet, but this will start to fill in once we start to create those pairings and get those techniques. This is a group technique, so depending on what formation you're in, which we'll get into that once we have an actual party, you can attack with all 5 party members. This is items, so any items that are usable in battle, you can pull up here. Then we have our defend option and our escape option. So pretty standard stuff. There's nothing unusual really about anything here that hasn't been seen in other RPGs. You know, the link texts and the group texts are a little special, but nothing too out of the ordinary. So for now, we're going to use Moon Tiara action. That'll only use 1 EP. So the little crystal there, that's your EP. And then you can also tell how many targets it will go after. So this is a single target. And since we only have 1 enemy, she really does not hit hard. Honestly, she might miss most of the time, so I wouldn't worry about losing this. And then we are out. We don't even bother healing your EP if you even have any items to do it, just physically attack her. And she's dead. Simple. A Daimon came back to life. So this is what you were talking about, Luna. Thank you, Sailor Moon. It's all right now. If you're ever in danger again, just call for me. Alright, so we have saved Naru. Oh, Sailor Moon, you saved me once again. You're the one on whom we can depend. Yes, we saved her again. I can't even count how many times she gets in trouble throughout the course of the series. Thank you, Sailor Moon, from the bottom of my heart. Before you leave, go upstairs. There is an item. A lot of people overlook this. So this chest over here. You have an antique doll. So this is a collectible item that we won't see for a little bit what you can do with those. Basically, you can just sell them for a lot of yen. And then down in this room, there is a Luna P. So we are going to save. And I am going to leave it off there. So for next time, we are going to start digging into the mystery of why these enemies that we have defeated before are showing up now. Why is this happening? How is this happening? So, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you all next time. Have a great day.